Hello, and welcome to ISU Alumni Town Hall. I'm Scott Turner, President of the ISU Alumni Board. Joining me today is my co-host, Ryan Sargent, Executive Director of Alumni Relations and Advancement Communications at ISU. Ryan?
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us. We are so excited to have the College of Pharmacy highlighted in our Alumni Town Hall today. You'll hear a little bit more about that from Scott and a few folks from the College of Pharmacy here in a few minutes. But I've been asked really quickly to give an update about the ISU Alumni Association, and there's some really exciting things going on. First of all, I want to remind everyone that we've got homecoming coming up. We're about 6 weeks out, so mark your calendars. Homecoming weekend is Friday, September 24th, and Saturday, September 25th. The Bengals will take on the Sacramento State Hornets for the football game, but we've got a whole weekend of events, including the alumni reception and dinner on the 24th that evening. You can learn more about that at isu.edu/alumni. And then, of course, the traditional events, the parade, the alumni tailgate, and the football game, all on Saturday. Kickoff for the football game is at 1 p.m. But beyond some exciting things happening this fall, where you can meet up with former classmates and get involved with the Alumni Association, is that we have recently broken ground on the new 26,000 square foot Alumni Center, which will be located near Holt Arena. So if you come back for homecoming, you'll be able to see the progress being made. They've dug the hole for the foundation and removed some landscaping, and we couldn't be more excited for that Alumni Center. I want to share my screen really quickly, and maybe as I talk about it, play a video. This is the architect's rendering of the Alumni Center, so you can get a kind of a visualization about what's being constructed up there. But as you can see, this is going to be a fabulous building and a real welcoming gateway to campus. It'll be the first thing that you see as you drive in from I-15, and it will provide some much needed event and meeting space for our alumni and the broader ISU community. The intent of the Alumni Center is to be a hub where our alumni can reconnect with Idaho State and really find a launching point to experience everything that Idaho State has to offer. But most importantly, this building is designed specifically to bring alumni together with one another, and most importantly, to connect alumni with our current Bengals students. So unlike ever before, this facility will facilitate opportunities for students and alumni to meet, to work together, and for alumni to share the skills that they learned at this university with current Bengals students. It's going to be a real game changer for our institution. We can't wait for this building to open in the spring of 2023, and we'll continue to post updates and keep you informed about where we're at with the Alumni Center. You can do that anytime by going to isu.edu/alumni center. We've got some photos here of the ground being broken and some holes being dug in preparation for the foundation being laid. And of course, there are still ways to support the Alumni Center, including etching your name into the Alumni Center patio by purchasing an alumni paver, which will go here in this area, this beautiful courtyard. If you want any more information about the Alumni Center, please feel free to call the alumni office or email alumni@isu.edu anytime. But this is really going to be a transformational and remarkable building. We're excited for you to be able to experience it, and are so grateful for the support that we've received over the past several years to make this building a reality. I think with that, we're all excited to hear about the College of Pharmacy. I'm going to kick it back to Scott Turner, and he'll move us on to the rest of the program.
Thanks, Ryan. Brought to you by the Idaho State University Alumni Association, Town Hall serves as an information source about what's happening on campus. Today, our special guests are Dr. Walter Fitzgerald, Dean of the College of Pharmacy, and Phil Yankovich, Director of Development and Alumni Relations for the College of Pharmacy. Welcome, Dr. Fitzgerald and Phil.
Well, thank you, Scott, very much. And I want to thank all of our alum and our staff for being here today to help support our town hall. We're excited. This is the first town hall that we've done exclusively in the College of Pharmacy while I have been dean. So we do appreciate your helping us, Scott and Ryan. And Ryan, thanks for the outstanding update on the Alumni Center, Alumni House. We're excited about having College of Pharmacy alums come and be part of programs that we will offer here on campus. So again, welcome to everyone and thank you for taking your time today to join us. I want to begin by telling you just a little bit about our response to the pandemic. We've got about 6 or 7 items to update you about. I know that as practicing pharmacists and other things that you're doing in your lives, you've been a part of this response to the pandemic as we have. What I really want to do is thank you as practicing pharmacists and first line and frontline responders to giving vaccines and making sure that patients received their medications and that testing was implemented in pharmacies where that was appropriate, for all that you did to help with this, and certainly the vaccination efforts that our nation is trying to achieve at this time. But I really want to brag about our student pharmacists. Our student pharmacists administered over 12,000 vaccines throughout Idaho as well as in Alaska. So we're very proud of their stepping forward. They volunteered hundreds of hours at places like Albertsons and St. Luke's and St. Al's and all of these vaccine clinics that we saw spring up around the state. We also want to thank Kevin Cleveland, our Director of Experiential Education. He's a member of the Idaho Immunization Coalition and led our vaccine efforts and clinic efforts, including 2 drive-up clinics. The first one of those in Meridian, and the first car through was Governor Brad Little and the First Lady of Idaho. So we have been very involved, and I want you to know that about your college, that we continue to be very involved in the community, the state, and trying to be of service to those that we are so privileged to have the ability to serve. The next great event that was originally scheduled for last year that we have postponed to this year and retitled to 101 in 2021 was our original Centennial celebration. We have rescheduled that for this year, and I'm going to let Phil, and maybe Leanne has some comments as well, but Phil, if you would, tell us about the Centennial celebration.
Hi, everyone. Yes, thank you again for being here. Our Centennial celebration is scheduled for September 10th and 11th. We will begin with at 4 o'clock, in the morning, we will have our guest lectures. This will be through the Chu lectureship, and David Chu was a former student and professor here at the university back in 1970s when he graduated, and he was a faculty into the early 80s. Then he went on in the University of Georgia, but he wanted to create a lectureship on for biological sciences to help many of our students and such. And this is will be the first time that we will actually have an alum from the College of Pharmacy as our guest speaker, Dr. Steve White, who is the chair of the College of Pharmacy at University of Washington in Seattle. So we're extremely excited about that. He's also very excited. And then we will also be having our Tosher lectureship, and we had Jerry Tosher from class of 63 who spent many years with Eli Lilly. He wanted to create a lectureship that would provide opportunities for our students to look outside of community pharmacy. And so we have a gentleman from named Dr. Kyle Peters, who was from our class of 2003, and he will be our guest lecturer for that. So we're excited about that. And then in the afternoon, we will begin our open house, followed by our dedication of our Centennial patio. And the patio is to commemorate those donors who have supported our $15 million campaign with support of $5,000 or higher. So we'll be dedicating that. Also, of course, we also have some pavers still available. So for those who maybe have not yet participated and are interested in doing so, those opportunities will be available as well. So, and then the big evening, it's a roaring 20s type of thing, because that's when the university began with Dr. Leonard as our first dean. And so we're trying to kind of play on that theme, if you will, even though it's been delayed a year. But so for those that are coming, we ask you to kind of get into the spirit. There will be a few of us. I'm still trying to find a pair of spats for my shoes, but we'll hopefully be successful with that. But the celebration is really in culmination of our Centennial campaign that we started in 2014. Of course, we were hoping to celebrate it last year. But anyway, we've been extremely successful in achieving our goal. So we're very happy with that. We've been able to generate hundreds of $1,000s in additional annual scholarships for our students. We've also been able to help with other events, not events so much, but like a faculty development, as well as additional scholarships and also programming. So it's been extremely good for us, and it's been quite a journey, if you will, but we're very excited, and we'll be culminating that success on September 10th. And then on the 11th will be a picnic. Our team is actually on the road, and we were planning on watching it in our tents, but because of television demands, they moved the game to 8:30 Mountain Time. So we'll have to watch it at the local bar or something. But we'll have a lot of fun games and things, and it'll be a great opportunity for a lot of the classes to come back together. And we look forward to wonderful camaraderie. So if you haven't RSVP, we hope you do so, and it will be an exciting time. But that's kind of what's going on with our Centennial celebration. Leanne, did you have anything to add?
I think you nailed it, Phil.
Okay.
I just hope to see everyone there. It's going to be an exciting time.
All right, and back to Dean Fitzgerald.
Well, Phil, while you have the floor, do you want to go ahead and share an update about the scholarship campaign?
Actually, we're going to hold off on that right now. It's going to be something that the president will be discussing and announcing on Monday. So we don't want to steal his thunder. So we're going to hold off on that, but please stay tuned, because as we all know, scholarships is so important for our students. And as I mentioned earlier, our campaign really helped us to really have an impact. Right now, we're giving about $500,000 a year in the College of Pharmacy for scholarships. And then, so that continues. And then President Satterley will be announcing an overall university campaign on Monday. So stay tuned for that.
Okay, thank you, Phil. And our obtaining scholarships for our students is becoming even more important in this competitive environment for attracting applicants for our PharmD program. So that is a tremendous benefit for us, this new announcement you'll hear about next week. One thing that I am very excited about is the creation of an alumni advocacy board within the College of Pharmacy that will help drive not only scholarship efforts, but other things in the college. And the first thing that board is doing from an administrative standpoint is helping me in establishing an alumni society for the College of Pharmacy. So the college will have its own alumni association or society. The advocacy board will serve the board for the society. It will also, from that board, elect officers for the society. There will be an annual meeting of the society and other things. So in building that society, we looked at the bylaws of other colleges of pharmacy that have long traditions of great alumni societies or associations. And so using those, we've crafted something very specific for the Idaho State University College of Pharmacy. Through that society, we will reconnect with our alumni, or perhaps connect even more with our alumni now that we are specific in the College of Pharmacy. And I want to thank Ryan for his support of this effort. I'm excited because it allows our alumni to continue to be part of the College of Pharmacy. We're going to be asking you to do things like career mentoring, to give us referrals for applicants for the School of Pharmacy. We also will have those students that are interested in pharmacy maybe visit you at your pharmacy or otherwise speak with you. We heard recently of a College of Pharmacy that when a student applies to the college, they have that student go and talk to an alumni member in their area. I know my alma mater, Mercer University in Atlanta, Georgia, when a student is accepted into their program, they connect that student with an alumni in that area because they realize that even in this era that we're in with a dwindling applicant pool, applicants are getting maybe 3 offers of admission. And so we want to continue to build a relationship with that student rather than just offer them admission and they accept that and we don't communicate with them again until we send them the notice of what day orientation and first day of classes. We want that continuing connection. We also want to offer services for you, some job placement things that we see on other alumni websites. The society will become more involved in our awards program for alumni. There are ideas around new awards for our alumni, such as new practitioner awards, things like that. So we are very excited about that. I think that having that connection with alumni can bring great strength to the College of Pharmacy, and we look forward to working with you. The faculty is coming together next week in our annual faculty retreat to give you an update, part 2 on COVID response. As you may have heard, ISU and other universities in Idaho have gone to a face coverings requirement for on-campus, in-person meetings, unless you're alone in your office or workspace. We made the decision in a special called administrative council meeting earlier this week to proceed on with our white coat ceremony, our orientation for our new students, and our faculty retreat. We believe that is essential because we are on the verge of finalizing an outstanding strategic plan for the next few years for the College of Pharmacy. The administrative council of the college, which are all of your deans and your department chairs, as well as a couple of our directors, such as Leanne here with us today, have done a yeoman's job in taking what existed as strategic objectives when I arrived and creating action plans around those. And so the faculty is going to spend an entire day next week looking at those action plans. That was paused while COVID was being wrestled with back in early 2020. We have an accreditation site visit coming up in about 2.5 years. And strategic plan is a critical standard within the ACPE accreditation standards. So we could not pause any longer. And in fact, we've made the decision that we're not going to let COVID slow us down anymore in the College of Pharmacy. We have been on hold for 18 plus months, and we cannot do that anymore. We have too many opportunities to capture. And to be honest, a few challenges that we've got to solve over the coming year, but that's not unusual. All of us face challenges, whether we're in higher ed or commercialization or private venture. I do want to share with you one of the things that is going to be a focus for next year. It's pretty clear that this applicant pool issue and admissions is not going to change in the near term. I think that for our College of Pharmacy to continue the wonderful tradition of the last 101 years, for us to grow our programs, we're going to have to become more engaged in commercialization of what we can offer in the College of Pharmacy. So one example of that is one of our faculty in BPSCI is working with a company that would like for us to join in a venture with them on tissue sample testing and creating a commercialized process for that. So we need to become more entrepreneurial in the College of Pharmacy. One thing I will also let you know, and if you're not aware of Bingle Pharmacy was created several years ago with the leadership of Rex Forrest and some others. The ISU Foundation has, I guess, owned Bingle Pharmacy since its inception, but we have almost finished the process of transferring Bingle Pharmacy from the foundation to the College of Pharmacy. So we will, as a college, have ownership of Bingle Pharmacy. We continue to operate our remote locations, but we also are finding out that there are other opportunities for us to expand our Bingle Pharmacy footprint. So we want to use that as an example. We also, in the College of Pharmacy, have the Master of Science in Clinical Pharmacotherapy program. That is a program that prepares psychologists to be prescribing psychologists. So if you want an analogy, it's like the prior history of nurses who became nurse practitioners. They had to complete a master's degree and some experiential time to be able to prescribe with their supervising physician. It's very similar to that. Well, through that program, we have launched an integrated mental health clinic in Meridian on our campus there. And we are now in the process of obtaining a limited services license from the Idaho Board of Pharmacy so that we can have a Bingle unit on the campus in Meridian whose sole purpose, at least initially, is around COVID vaccine and influenza vaccine as needed this fall, but also in doing MTM, medication therapy management. So we are excited about some of the talents and skills of our college and how we can commercialize those and generate revenue so that we continue to be one of the nation's leading colleges of pharmacy and provide an outstanding education for our students. Those of you that were here for a few years, I want to give you a quick update. Dr. Paul Cady has retired. Paul Cady was our last seated dean, and then Chris Owen served as the interim dean, and then I arrived in June of 2019, just in time to get ready for COVID. So Paul is retired, and also Carrie Casperson, who's someone that has been with the faculty for quite some time, has also retired. So if you have an opportunity to send them your best wishes for their successful retirement, I know that they both were outstanding stewards of our program and did a lot to advance the college. And for example, Carrie Casperson's involvement in the dual PharmD, whatever it is I'm trying to think of, MBA. Yeah, I was thinking about, I don't want to forget to mention, we also have another new dual degree, the PharmD MPH degree. So that's what I got myself thinking. I can't think about more than one thing at a time. So we've got those two dual degree programs now at offering. And just yesterday, we have a new dean for the College of Health, Dr. Teresa Connor. Rex Force led the division leadership in a brainstorming session. And some of the ideas that came from that, not only on the advanced degrees ideas, but on commercialization. So it is a truly exciting time here at ISU College of Pharmacy, but that also extends over to the division and our partnership with the colleges in the College of Health, from PA to nursing to all those programs in the College of Health. So those are the highlights, and I know this is an open forum, so I don't want to take any more of the time. We want to leave time for you to ask questions of us about your college or your university. So does anyone have any questions that they would like to ask any of us?
This is great, Walter. There's been a few questions in the chat, if you don't mind me just reading a couple of those,
Okay.
Maybe to kick us off. Two questions are fairly similar, so I'm going to read both of them and toss it over to you. What are the challenges facing pharmacy students as they move on to professional careers? And what role can we, I think, meaning alumni, play in helping them land employment? And then the question that I thought was maybe related to that are, can you talk about any mentorship programs that are offered through the College of Pharmacy?
Okay. In our world in pharmacy and in my 40 years in pharmacy education, I've not seen the environment that we're in today with the decline in the applicant pool, with the shrinkage in some of the job market, particularly among some of the community pharmacy practice services. And there is at times some difficulty in students finding positions that they really favor. We continue to have positions. I just saw in an announcement this week, there are 2 pharmacist openings, and I think 3, if I read it correctly, right here in Pocatello. So there do remain positions available. One of the things that the College of Pharmacy is looking at is, what is it that we should be doing about that career placement? And so we have some ideas around that, one of which is for alumni to provide us openings that they have, that they're aware of, but also for us to go out and create new opportunities. I'll give you an example. Yesterday morning, Rex and I were talking about student pharmacists being more engaged in medical clinics through family medicine and through medical colleges, and how that lets student physicians know what pharmacists can do if they work in that medical practice. So those kinds of things that we're looking at how to do. As to mentorship programs, and I guess, Ryan, that was around the alumni being mentors to students. We always want that connection with our students. And so I know that if you look at some College of Pharmacy websites in their alumni association, there is a place where you can, a link where you can go in and enter your name, your contact information, your career background, and offer to be a mentor to a student who is struggling, making a decision about, do I want to take this position or a different position? Tell me about community pharmacy. I ran into one of our P2 students the other day, and he was telling me about his experience this summer at an independently owned community pharmacy, and was talking about the success of that pharmacy. And it's in a rural area of the state of Idaho, but he was just going on about what a wonderful opportunity that was for him to go there, and how it gives him an idea about something he might do as a licensed pharmacist in owning his own pharmacy. So those kinds of stories. I was over in Twin Falls and stopped in a pharmacy over there, and there was a young lady there, a pharmacist. The owner was not there at the time. I stopped in without advance notice, and she was telling me about how she would ride from Twin Falls to Pocatello on a bus, and how she even put her knees up on the seat in front of her and had her books there and studied all the way to Pocatello. Those are the kinds of stories that I want us to capture about our alumni and share those with our alumni and build that connectivity. You guys as an alumni body are such a valuable resource to me as dean, to our faculty, but mostly to our students. So Ryan, I hope that answered those 2 questions.
Yeah, I think that's great. Here's another one from the chat. Has the college been successful in increasing the number of pharmacists in Alaska like it had hoped to do?
Yes. We started out with a very high number, and it did dip a little bit over the last couple of years, but now has come back up. So we are approaching our target. We're a couple students short of our target in Alaska, but we continue to enjoy an outstanding relationship with UAA. There are 2 colleges of pharmacy that are not in Alaska, but that are marketing their colleges to Alaskans. One is an online program and one is a ground-based program, but they're offering those students an academic excellence award to leave Alaska and come to this particular state and this particular college. So we don't know, and that's something that's on our radar, is to look into that a little bit more. If we have seen any that shrinkage last 2 and 3 years ago. Whether or not any of that may have been influenced by students being recruited out of Alaska by other colleges of pharmacy. So, but yes, we are building that back from that little bit of a dip that we had a couple of years ago.
Great, thank you. Here's the next one. Do you expect to expand Bengal pharmacy across the state, and will telepharmacy play a role in that?
Yes, we do anticipate that, and perhaps even other states as well. I mean, if we think about Alaska, where we have a campus in Alaska, there's no reason to leave that off of our list of potential expansion territory. Telepharmacy, telehealth is going to be a huge part of what Bengal Pharmacy does, but it also extends beyond that to our other health professions programs. Rex Force and I took a trip recently up to Chalice and then over to Salmon to Steele Memorial Hospital, and the needs in those rural areas for telepharmacy, telemedicine, telecounseling, all of those things continue to point out what opportunities there are, but more importantly, what needs are not being met in our state. And that was part of our discussion yesterday about how do we identify these needs, and then how do we build programs around meeting those needs. And so I tell you about telecounseling because I brought that immediately back and sent it over to Dr. Eric Silk, who is the chair of our MSCP program, because our mental health clinic could be part of the solution to meeting those mental health care needs. And specifically what the CEO of Steele Memorial Hospital shared with Rex and me was that it's about medication management. That's the real struggle. You know, they've got counselors, but they don't have the medication management for those psych meds. And so I think there's a great opportunity there. That, Ryan, one more point. I don't want to take all the time on just a couple of questions, but that reminded me of something else. We've had 2 hospitals that have had conversation with us. They want to bring their PBM service in-house. And fortunately, I have a little experience with that from Tennessee with a hospital in East Tennessee. And at my prior position, we were asked to do the PBM work, the medication management for the county school systems, employees, independents. So we are having those conversations about, could we as a college of pharmacy become a PBM and meet the needs? I've mentioned this to Shane Hunt, our new Dean of Business, because they've got the connection with business. So I share that with you just to show you the excitement and the thinking outside of the box that we have here in the College of Pharmacy about what we can do in the future to meet needs in healthcare. Ryan?
Thanks, Walter. This was the last question submitted through the chat anyway. It reads, my granddaughter is interested in being a pharmacist. She's currently an undergraduate. What advice do you have to help her not only be accepted into the program, but prepared to succeed in pharmacy school?
Okay. First of all, that's exciting to know that someone has a grandchild that is wanting to come to pharmacy school. One of the things that we want to begin to build is a legacy scholars program in the college. We have families where multi-generations of those families have attended the College of Pharmacy, and we need to celebrate that. And we need to tell others about how their family members can begin to build those legacies of being pharmacists out of the ISU College of Pharmacy. One of the things that we are working on to address this applicant decline is an early assurance program. So we're going into the high schools with programs about coming to ISU and how that puts you in a pre-pharmacy program. We're also working with the local colleges on articulation agreements. But what she needs to do is I think you said she or he needs to find out what our requirements for admission are, and those are on our website, and to make sure to enroll in and complete with, let's all hope, all A's in all of those courses, so that this grandchild has a great prospect of being accepted. To be honest with you, right now in pharmacy, we have more seats across the nation than we have applicants to fill those seats. So if she can perform at a high B or A average, 3.5 to 4.0, she will have very little, should have no trouble being admitted to pharmacy school. And of course, we hope that her choice of pharmacy school is here at ISU to continue that legacy.
Thanks, Walter. This has been great. I don't know if anyone has one last question before we kick it over to Scott, but those were some great questions through the chat, and certainly appreciate Walter addressing all those. All right. Well, thanks, everyone. I'll kick it back over to you, Scott.
Yeah, thanks, Ryan. Dean Fitzgerald and Phil, thank you so much for bringing this program to us today and creating a town hall of, I think, very interesting topic. And I think a lot of your alumni it would be great if they could pick this up on our website and check it out later. That's normally what happens, because I would assume an awful lot of your alumni are working right now. That would be my suspicion. But anyway, also, I wanted to offer my 101 years of success. Congratulations. And from the sounds of it, you're going for 100 more. And we look forward to that. So 100 years from now, I'll meet you right here. Okay, is there anything else, Brian? I guess we'll call it a day.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, and thanks for everybody being here, and have a wonderful time and a great day, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye.